morning, I am ready. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Very good
Okay,
morning.
start. I am ready.
Sir, can you please close the curtain behind you because there is a lot of light coming from behind. You're looking like Sai Baba now.
Actually, I took it from. I didn't still get the image, but I got a number from the.
Okay.
Shall I share the screen?
So there are some formalities.
Okay.
For
Please go
maybe
ahead.
2-3
Please go
minutes.
ahead. Please go.
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Good morning to
No
one and all
problem.
here. I'm Dr. Sulbha Pawar from Nashik IAP. And we are very much thankful to CIP as well as the Maharashtra IAP as they have given us this opportunity to start this program for the teenagers. Our renowned pediatrician as well as adolescent pediatrician from Nashik, Dr. Atul Kanikar, has this idea, and we all are following his path now in this program of PATH. I'm welcoming everyone here from President Maharashtra IAP, Vice President Maharashtra IAP, Secretary Maharashtra IAP, as well as all the dignitaries here. And today's our MMC speaker, Dr. Vaibhav Pustake sir, is also here. I just asked sir to speak few words for this program.
Good morning, everybody. Now the program which has started, this webinar series which has started, which Nashik IIP and Maha IIP has started, is going on very well for almost last 1.5 years. And this particular today's program on PATH, especially which has been suggested by Dr. Atul Kanikar, that is going to be a feast, an academic feast for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I am going to ask Dr. Ramgopal Chezara sir, President Maha IAP 2024, to speak few words.
Good morning, everyone, and all the best to start the program. I'll just hand over. I'll tell Praveen Gokhale to give the opening remark because we were busy in the session. So I just told him to give the opening remark. So Praveen.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Dr. Praveen Gokhale, sir,
Yes.
Maharashtra IAP Vice President, please.
Yeah, it gives me great pleasure to invite all of you on this live streaming program. And the program is for PATH, that is the Pediatric Action Plan for Teenagers Healthcare. Teenagers are most, like I want to say, they are the ones who are in the wedge between smaller children and the adults. And we have to be forefront in taking care of them, but there are a lot of challenges. So we have two eminent speakers today to fill up our gaps in this type of knowledge regarding the teenagers. One is Dr. MKC Nair, who is a stalwart in pediatric and adolescent healthcare, and our own local person, Dr. Atul Kanikar, who is a adolescent pediatrician. So I hand over the mic to Dr. Sulbha Pawar to start the program without any further delay, and I welcome the speakers to this program. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask Dr. MKC sir. He is a renowned pediatrician, the known adolescent pediatrician from last 30 years. For more than 30 years, he is serving for all of us. He is known national as well as international speaker. And Atul sir is showing me that he is working from last more than 40 years now. I don't think that sir is need any introduction, but he was the VC of Kerala University also, along with doing all this work. I'm just asking sir to start his speak on parenting the teenagers as well as young adults.
So good morning, all the dignitaries of Nashik. I have been talking about parenting adolescents for a long time. So I thought this time I'll make it little, we should grow a little bit, no? You can't keep on with adolescent up to 18. So I thought we will talk about young adults also up to 24. We have, first time we talked about it was in 99 or 98. So now it is almost 25 years. So let's graduate a little more and go into young adults. I am taking a different route this time. And that is, once upon a time, not necessarily now, it was a huge problem was unmarried teenage pregnancy. We have had a lot of discussions, even in the parliament. Some talked about India's tradition, culture, all that. The others said that there should be an open world, everybody should. In fact, nowadays the girls are saying, what is the need for virginity? What is the problem? Push in anything you want there. It's our right and whatnot. I'm seeing a huge difference in the attitude of the girls. So having said that, still there is a huge population in India who is not for all that, who is still traditional. So we must cater to both the groups. That's the most important. So one of the study that did, it was a PhD thesis done in 2008, which showed why do the girls get into teenage pregnancy. This is only a prototype for whether it is for mental health problem, for anything. This will be the anchor point. What is the first thing we found? Lack of appropriate parenting control. 9 times more chance of getting teenage pregnancy. Then you can say 9 times more chance of getting drug abuse, 9 times of chance of getting many other things. Poor intra-family relationship, 7 times more chance. Lack of sexual reproductive health knowledge, 5 times more. Problem family, 4 times more. It's odds ratio, that means 4 times. Lack of engagement in activity, any activity, they are not doing anything, 4 times more. Lack of knowledge on sexually transmitted infection, 3 times. So based on this, I'm going to give the talk ordered like this. What is lack of appropriate care, parental control? In simple words, either you are so strict that the first opportunity the child will jump the wall, or you are so liberal that there is no restriction, do what you want. There is nothing called a positive parenting. A parent is not a dictator. Parent should not be so lenient also. Parent should be the one which guide you through the difficult days. And I realized that yesterday, actually this talk was made after I had a patient yesterday, 21-year-old, +2 boy of a very, very rich family and blah, blah, all that. And he was brought in as almost like a terrorist. It's so difficult to manage him in school. I tried this technique with him, and then I found it was very useful. Now, let's start with simple things. In local language, you must have all these books. There's no point in publishing in English alone. So this is Amme Ariyan, means mother to know. That's all. It was a series in a popular journal, the newspaper, which they put it together and publish it. And I think such work is being done in Nasik also. Now, what is parenting adolescence? Simple rule, parents need to be firm. Absolutely no, not hard, firm. But if that is not done in the context of a warm, caring environment, it is going to exacerbate the situation. On one side, you be firm on few things, but at the same time, lenient on few other things. Something which will destroy him or her, something which is going to affect him personally or the family or the reputation, that you need to be firm. But if he has a hairstyle which is black here, red here, green here, like that it goes, forget it. That is, hair will come and go. In 1 month time, you can take it off. So don't get sticky with such things. And that is where the parents go wrong. They get sticky with small, small things because you don't like to see it. And you make noise for that and creating an enmity between parent and the child. Whereas you should not do, you laugh at it. Just laugh at it. That's all. Don't bother about it. But if he's doing something, and the worst of the lot is, no would be the drug. No compromise on the drug. Okay? Alcohol, sometimes they may, little bit try and all that. 2 no's for alcohol. And 1 no for smoking. Any girl or boy unnecessarily premarital sex, you decide what should be your attitude. I cannot say that. You can decide what should be attitude. The best, of course, would be to show by example. If you are doing all the nonsense in life, you have no right to tell the child not to do it. So just introspect and say, what have I done in life? In fact, the fellow who has been very bad, are the ones who become so tough with the child that you are not reasonable, giving him reasonable leverage that after all he's a young boy or young girl, they also have feelings. Okay. Now, 10 basic principles. I'll quickly go through. I won't go in. What you do matters. What does it mean? What does it mean? Whatever you do, it is going to affect the child. This is extremely important. Okay. And how do you do it? How do you say it? How do you relate? How do you give that perception of being a parent is important. You cannot be too loving, means whatever love you give, it is not too much. But love with restrictions. Love doesn't mean freedom completely. Even if you make a mistake, forget it, man. I will be with you. That is okay. But you cannot, condone every nonsense. Be involved in a child's life. Every little story they want to tell. Actually, now I am a grandfather. So most of the time I spent, even then she has complained. I spent so much time with the grandchild. Still she say, Appu, you don't have time for me. You don't play with me. You don't do this with me. You don't do that thing. I just give an example. She wanted AC in her study room. Should I give or not? No, because it's not so hot here. It's not required. Now, if you start listening to everything she says, she will get such ideas. Tomorrow when she go to hostel, she will want AC there also. Maybe in hot summer, in many places, they have AC and all. But in a Kerala climate, a fan is cost so much, electricity is so much, but I can't afford that. Then she understood. Okay. Adopt your parenting style to fit your child. Every child is different. So whatever she say, I give an example. They just asked me, Appu, what is period? Okay. I said English period, maths period. She said, no, not that, something else. I told the mother to say it, but she was not comfortable. Then I told her simple. Some blood coming from your private part, your amma has it, your grandmother has it, this thing. And that's all. It won't create any problem. Isn't blood very dangerous? Such question she has. I said, no, it's not. It's just throwing away sort of unwanted. Not a correct answer, but at this time that is enough. You don't have to give all the thing. That's enough. She is happy with that. So like that, you need to learn to tell how to say, establish and set rules. Without a rule, you will never respect a teacher who never put rules. You will never respect a boss who doesn't have rules. Okay, this is extremely important. If I was a successful vice chancellor, it's because I put 5 rules and stuck to the rules. No compromise on that. And the 5 rules were, even if God himself come and say, I will not do anything illegal against the rule. Okay, this you can do in your home also. You will not break rule. Whether even if you are a big policeman, you will obey the traffic rules because you are teaching your child, please obey traffic rules. Okay. Number 2 would be, examination, no harassment, nothing will be allowed. So when the child will come and say, I cheated this one, I did that, don't encourage that. Say, okay, you got first, so it's okay. Don't do that. Instead of that, say, better, that is wrong. Don't do that. And third, of course, being student friendly. So here, instead of student, it should be child friendly. Child friendly means what? You give time to them, you listen to them, explain to them things. You may have to do 20 times. Don't get fed up. After all, it's your child. Okay. 4 is give respect and take respect. Do the parents respect children? Have you ever said sorry to them? I have said 100 times to not to my son maybe, but to my grandchild, I am saying it now. Because I say, why do I say sorry? But I was a little angry. But I'm so sorry. So she learns that even grandpa can make mistake. And when you make a mistake, nothing wrong in saying sorry. Teach that. Okay. Foster your child's independence. Let the child do things on his own, her own. Don't belittle him, say you can't do it. You can do it. Teach them you can do it. Only thing, precaution. Fire, height, all that. Precaution has to be there. But otherwise, let the child do. Let the child make mistake. Don't ever use the word, didn't I tell you don't do that? You did it and you got in trouble. No, don't say that. The reason being, only if they do, they make mistake and then they learn that it should not do that. But that mistake should not be very costly, that's all. Be consistent. Most of us, inconsistent. When you are in good mood, you allow anything. When you are in bad mood, you beat the child. Avoid harsh discipline. No child in the world has succeeded by harsh discipline. If you do the harsh discipline, he will do the same thing to his child. Okay, harsh discipline is only in the jail. Nowhere else such hard discipline is there. Explain your rules and decision. Explain why you are doing it. It becomes, you may feel small. Why I have to explain this small 8-year-old child? No, you have to. Because the child also has intelligence, and the present day children have much more intelligence than we can ever imagine. Explain to them better why I have done it. And it will be huge success. That's why I left the 5th point in the university. The biggest problem the university I had was nobody has time to explain to the child. The child has failed for 1 mark, something. Okay. Then you tell them that this is the rule. The vice chancellor also cannot give half a mark. Okay. Then I tell them, go and ask anybody, tell me some way I can bypass this rule. After 2 days, they will come and say, no, sir, it's not possible. I said, didn't I tell you? That is a problem. We can't break the rule. So once you tell, they understand. Otherwise, they'll be in emotional. When they made some mistake or something happened, fight happened. Why did you fight? Did I tell you? Don't do all that. Treat your child with respect. The best thing that you can give in your life. Not only your wife, your husband and wife also. And your husband also. The problem in the family is that we don't give respect. We have, 7 times more, I said, if your emotional relationship is spoiled, the child will get totally damaged. That's what I said, second one. 9 times strictness of parents, 7 times emotion. They need not be separated physically. The emotional separation of parents, the child will perceive, and that is what is dangerous. Now, parenting comprises all the tasks involved in raising a child to an independent adult. We have said it, we explained it. Perhaps the only thing more difficult than being a teenager is parenting one. We know that. So difficult because every child is different. You may be a best teacher. 40 children in the class, you manage so well. There's no problem. But when it comes to one child at home, you have problem. That is because each one is different. Now, a sense of connection between teenagers and parents provides the backdrop against which all other interaction take place. What is that sense of connection? What is that sense of connection? And you realize this, suddenly you become sick. Your child, son or daughter, may be normally not caring for you. You think he is not caring for you, he is not talking to you all. But the moment you become sick or you're down, you see the way they will behave. Okay? I have experienced it. That's what I'm saying. Suddenly, the boy or girl is an entirely different person. Then you realize he has so much of affection, but may not be the showing type. Some people are like that. Now, adolescent, is it difficult? Adolescent is not difficult. We make life difficult for them. The sullen adolescent is a common beast. So is the busy one out at the dawn, back to fall into bed late at night. Now, what are the 3 issues that bothers in the modern time at adolescent? Parents bother parents about adolescent. 1, they go without permission. They come late in the night. Particularly when it happens to girl, the amma gets very worried. 2nd, you believe they are into a bad gang. They are smoking, maybe just smoking or smoking difficult things or bad things. Okay. And they have relationship in and out, which is not just platonic relationship. It may be sexual relationship, something which we cannot accept as parents because we probably were not doing all that. But just think that we also had some element of it. Now they are doing little more of that. Okay. Just think like that way. Then half your anger will go away. Anger is what is killing the parents. Instead of that, try to understand, actually he or she doesn't want to do all this. They don't want to do all this. They are like this because their peers are like that. It's a heavy peer pressure that make them do all this. Okay? They don't want to be in a sexual relationship. But all my friends are not virgin. How can I be not virgin? This is the problem in America. They will make fun of the girl. And now also in modern cities also it has happened. Everybody is saying that, oh, all of them, how can you make idiot girl, stupid country girl? Yeah, you are 18 and you are still virgin? What nonsense? But I have had, I know, last 20, 30 years, I can see the difference. When you talk something about menses, they used to be shy. Now, instead of that, now they say, why should you be virgin? What is the importance of being virgin? Huh? It is our right. Actually, I had to tell one girl, she said, it's our right to push in something there. I said, you push in. Then I use a local Malayalam word. If you want, you push in that also. That's not my botheration. But don't encourage younger children to do all this. My worry is about below 18 years. They are not adult. Below 18 years, anybody promote all this, which includes even menstrual cup. 18 plus, you do what you want. You want to use menstrual cup, you may lose your virginity. That's all your business. You are adult. But below 18, I will not allow that to happen because there's a lot of commercial interest coming in all this. Okay. And then, of course, the biggest problem is your computer. The parents have a huge problem. Should I give computer? Should I give mobile? Should I give this thing? Just think that all of you also have the urge to do something. We all teach others, don't do this, don't do that. But the urge is same for everybody at every age. So what you need to tell is not to have the urge, but don't succumb to it because by taking precautionary measures. What are the precautionary measures? How you can avoid danger? Take precaution, precaution, precaution. I say, you are not God, you are likely to make mistake. And you must understand what is the danger of that. Net is not bad, but if you are having PUBG and whatnot, it is definitely bad. No doubt about it. Spending the whole night in the TV, or not, TV is now nobody bothered. They are all on, computer and other thing. If you are online the whole night, how can you have good sleep? How can you do well in life? So some restriction from day one, okay? But that should not be done in a way easy to say, but I'm sure all of you hearing me will be telling. So easy to give a talk, but not easy to practice it. I agree, it is not easy. That is where you must get the help of experts. Can the experts manage? They can manage their patient, but they may not be able to manage their child. But even the expert cannot manage his own child. Very difficult. So these are difficult areas, but we need to a girl is going with a boy. You think of teenage pregnancy, you think of all the thing, and you get upset, angry, beat the child, do all that. No, nothing is going to help. Okay. Now, major aspect of parenting is biological aspect is care, protection, nurturing. Nurturing. Nobody in the world can nurture you like your parent or the teacher. Teacher is also considered a parent. Psychological is understanding and guidance, guidance, guidance. Not advice, not advice. Guidance, guidance. Guidance means you tell them how to get through this problem. Family, mutual interaction, partnership in a protective environment. All jokes that you say, sometimes adult jokes also nowadays happens in the family. It's okay. It's okay because instead of going outside and with the dirty gang saying few things in the house is okay. But with the limits, within limits, of course. Legal up to 18 years, you are the full parent. So you have the right to say, after 18, maybe you can't push in that much. Action, do the right thing at the right time, even if it might cause displeasure for the time being. Very important. Now, I just read through the 10 commandments before going into further. Of course, educate yourself first about adolescence, the difficulty of adolescence. Parenting is a learned skill. You know that. Teaching adolescence is a skill. Help adolescents gain independence. Teach adolescents that rights and responsibilities go together. You cannot have right without any response. If I am a teacher, I have a right over my student, but then I also have responsibility to my student. So that is important. Spend quality time with adolescents. Quality time only means what they enjoy. Do with them what they enjoy. Don't try to go to definition of quality time and this dictionary says like your child enjoy joking, gup maro, do whatever you want. But then they should enjoy it and you should not push that on them. Parents also do have feelings. Let the child know that you are also suffering. Especially a mother should talk. For you, it is a difficult thing to manage this man. He may look very good, very smiling, very all that, Kanikar is smiling. That's why I said he may look so simple and smiling and all that. Ask his wife what he is. Okay? Understood? He may give good talk. But all of us are like that. Our behavior outside and our behavior to wife is entirely different. And the children perceive all this. The problem with nowadays children is they are so intelligent that they perceive the difficulty of, problem between parents. You tell them, beta, there's no problem here, like that. But they understand. They understand. They are so sharp. Actually, my own grandchild has taught me most of these things. That they are so sharp. They can, even the slight difference, they can pick it up. Seek guidance during crisis. Don't be, counseling is no more a bad word. It used to be considered a bad word, but nowadays everybody thinks that it's okay to go for a counseling. All have problems at some time or other, and we must go for counseling. So, what parents can do, I'll summarize. Need to establish a warm relationship with the child. Help adolescents learn to deal with conflicts with the peers and with adults. Help learn to regulate emotions, especially anger. Anger management. Swati Bhave has even written a book on anger management. Okay? And I think after that, she doesn't have any anger anymore. Right? Does she have anger now? No. She has published a book on anger management. So when you have anger, when you write a book, you internalize all those concepts. Okay, say that it's okay to have negative emotions such as anger. It's not a bad thing, but you must know the consequences of that. Encourage problem-solving abilities within the family. What is happening in the family, if possible, should not go out. And the father should be a real father who is head of the family, but always not necessarily. Sometimes the mother may be the head of the family. And many people in Indian context say that is bad. No, I don't agree. Sometimes the mothers can be much more sensible than the father. So I don't agree that they cannot be. They can be, provided they are sensible. Because most of the time, it's a mother who can take lot of stress inside and still continue with the thing. Father can blow up unnecessarily. Whereas a mother knows that I should not blow up because it is not in the long-term interest of my family. So, okay, now let's get into the second one. Second one was, we talked about poor intra-family relationship. 7 times more chance of teenage pregnancy. Okay, what does it mean? We need to have relationship counseling. What are the relationship counseling? I'm just giving you a few questions. You don't have to stick to it, but take something on relationship counseling. Are you made for each other? Are you a good match? Just think of it. 100% people will say not a good match. At least 99 will say not a good match. But then we learn to live with that. Don't worry. First few years, we may crib about it, but after some time, as you get older and older, maybe you accept not the even mild problem. Controlling relationship, your partner is controlling you. Sometimes she may be controlling and you may have to accept it, no choice. or he may be controlling you. I'm not saying it's good, but sometimes you may have to adjust to it. Distracted relationship. Okay. You're so bothered about your IAP and Sunday program that you don't look at your children. You don't go for the wife, do anything for the wife. You don't keep an evening also for her. You don't go for shopping. You don't do anything. I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about myself. Even last night I came very late, and morning I got up late, and now sitting on this, and afternoon I have another program. Sometimes it may become a nuisance. Fortunately for me, my wife will say, better you go out. At least I have peace of mind here. Then it's okay. If that is a story, then it's okay. Manipulative relationship. This is something which you should be very careful about. If the other person is manipulating you, the worst story I'll tell you, one staff in my place, she is only cleaning staff. She kept 1.5 lakh rupees. We all have contributed little bit for a serious surgery of a child. And when the time came, it was a combined relationship. And when the time came for her to take that money, not a single pie in that. The whole thing has been taken by husband. You understand? So people manipulate. But he is such an affectionate father, affectionate husband. It was all for drinking. So he could not control that urge. What to do? Age difference. Age difference, good or bad? Good or bad? Youngsters will say it is bad. But little more older people will say it is good. Because we can tolerate. Oh, choti hai na, theek hai, karne do. She is gripping, making noise and all. You just think of your sister, younger one, who also is worse than this. So you'll say, choti hai ta, theek hai, chalo, koi baat nahi. Whereas an husband also, even if he is little tough, your brother also was like that, elder brother, very authoritative and all that. So you say, it's okay. So sometimes that is good and bad. Long distance relationship, that is extremely important. I give a story just now. This one of my students only came to me counseling because she is staying with her father here, and husband is in another town. And there is a newly married girl just across, neighbor. She just married, husband has gone to Gulf. Okay. And she thinks her sister, not she, her sister thinks he is eyeing on her and all that. And he is forcing her to go for divorce. She didn't want divorce. So she came to me. So I said, if, the men are very generous people, Do you know that men are very generous? When a girl is there without husband, you want help, That is part of the generosity of men. They want to help. So don't take it so badly. Instead of that, I coaxed her, counseled her, and said, you go and stay there. Oh, my father will be alone. No, father has his mother. Oh, wife will be there. She went, stayed with him. There was nothing actually. It was just that a curiosity. A curiosity is always there. When you go to a hill station, I always tell them, don't put all those bindi, the whole head. Don't put all the ornament. Don't put all those gaudy things. Dress up like casual. Then nobody will look at you. But the moment you see a newly married, 90% of the men have doubt. Has something happened? Is it happening okay? Is he in the right direction? Is he doing it wrong? All sort of thoughts will come to your mind. So you get focused on that girl. Suppose you are casually dressed like, Benji. Best is when you go such places, become a Benji. So nobody will look at you. That is much more safer for you. So these are natural things. Let's not get excited about it. Motives. Have you ever felt that relationship only for physical or sexual intimacy? There are a lot of it's happening like that. Only for that purpose, he will approach you. Then he is very sweet and honey. Other time he is not. I'm saying all this because I'm sure many of you are relating to every word that I'm saying in your marital relation. Negotiation. Do you often tolerate demeaning behavior from your partner? It's very important. Demeaning behavior you should not tolerate. Somebody put hand, if your husband put hand on you, you should shout, scowl, cry. The whole mohalla should wake up. Because the first time, if you allow it, he will keep on doing it. Don't let it happen first time. Call everybody in the world possible except the police, naturally. because you don't want to go to the second level. Once the police is involved, is something different. You understand my point? So that say that clearly that I will not tolerate. I'm talking about a wife, but nowadays it's much more practical for husbands. Many of them are getting beaten up and butchered by wives. Okay? See, Kanikar is looking at something else. He doesn't want to listen to this. Atul, I'm talking for you. It's
Sorry,
huh?
I'm sorry, I was on the phone. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Tell me
that's what I'm
what.
saying. It's not only wife beating, husband beating also. It's not uncommon. I am just telling. We are trying.
Yeah, that's why I am wearing helmet in the house nowadays.
That's why I took your opinion.
Yeah, I'm putting the helmet at the wrong end, but it's okay. It's for my own protection at this age.
Then you have self-doubt. So, though
Yeah,
you think you love your partner, do you have a feeling that this relation might not last?
I hope Kanika madam is not watching this one.
What, madam is, I hope?
No, she's
No,
not.
she knows me very well. She knows
She
me
knows,
well.
she knows, sir, very
She
well.
knows me very well. You know, for how many years? 30 years now. So
Yeah.
it's okay. Now, third one is lack of sexual reproductive health knowledge. Our family life education that we talk. Okay? And we must know few things, little bit about sexuality. I'm not going to talk about sex, but I'm talking the scientific part of it. The procreative sex is only for the missionary pose and all that, only for having a child. And if it doesn't work, you have infertility and you have huge problems. You have huge problems. Okay? And the worst in that, I must tell you, most people advise the woman to have sex. Okay? Not a woman, the husband, to have maximum sex in those, so-called safe period. Opposite of that, you have between 12 to 15 days, those days. Never give that advice. Why? Because the fellow gets so much stress that he cannot perform. That's a wrong advice. Never, you can say that to the wife and you say coax him for that at that time, but never. Infertility, this is one thing we can help. We can't do the other part, but this part we can counsel. Never tell the husband about, that period when it is maximum chance of pregnancy and all, because that will not help. Okay. So second one is recreative sex, which, you see, I tell you, everybody, in spite of having the best thing in the house, you always think outside. Just accept it as, now don't think that I am doing that. Not because I'm saying that is okay. As a counselor, I am talking not my personal experience. But the tendency to look outside is always there. Okay? If something might happen, don't make a big issue of it. Okay? Help him or her to get over it. Okay? That's the best policy. Relationships, sex is spirituality. And that is the best part of thing. 3 times are there. The first one is when you are married or just in relationship, you really is into all that. Then you have a stage when you become a mother of a child. And when you become mother of a child, the fellow will keep on cribbing about few things, but still he has so much affection for you, respect for you as his child's mother. Understand that word. And he will complain that your tummy has become dirty, this, that, and all he'll do. So I have a solution for that. Before you go to the husband's house, take a high definition photographs of your tummy, keep it in the mobile. The moment he makes such comments, you just show it. That when I came, my tummy was like this. Now you have made it like this. Okay? The little bit, I think mothers should tell girls about even male sexuality. This is, I don't know how many of you feel confident to do that, but you must do it. Because what mothers say, what the teachers say is not filth. Understand that point. No child will take anything that is told by the mother or the father, maybe. Sometimes they may not take it positively at that age. But mother or the teacher say it's not there. So I usually explain in terms of, use the word priapism and all that. Don't do that. There is something called erection, and erection has go away only with ejaculation. So it is like saliva in the mouth. Saliva will keep on coming. Either you have to swallow it, you have to spit it, or it will come in the night. Same thing is nocturnal emission. Okay. So masturbation is something 20, 30 years ago, if I use the word masturbation in the class, all the girls used to look down. Now you say how common it is. Is it normal? They'll say, yes, sir, normal. It is our right. I don't know about Nasik. I'm sure. Don't penetrate put the finger inside, because your virginity will go. Then sometimes some of them may ask, what do you need a virginity? That is their private affair. We don't bother. So I usually say not abnormal, which means I don't say it is normal. I don't say it's abnormal. I only say not abnormal. Okay. Now this may be required. You need to show this picture to your daughter and say at what stage you are. This is one of the way of making her comfortable with her emerging, development. Okay. Don't touch her, don't examine her, but just show the pictures and say how you are, and take it in a positive way. Hey, you are 1 or 2. Huh? Good. You are 3 now already. Very good. Very. Mama was only in 2 at that stage. Compare always with Amma, mother. So it becomes a natural thing, not an unnatural thing. It's not a dirty thing. Amma was not like this. You are smarter than. You are eating a lot more beef, or you are eating a lot more of non-veg. Maybe that's why. For the boys, of course, again, it is important because they may be having lot of problems about the size of their penis and all that. Okay. So you need to. You may say, why can't a father tell all this? But I believe it is better than father is a mother who can spell. When the mother says this, there's no filth in that. See, the children think that father may say filth, but they don't expect the mother to say filth. So when the mother say, it is not that you go and tell every child, but if you think your son has not growing up enough, he is not behaving mature in spite of becoming 13, 14, 15, just ask him what is happening. Can I help you? Do you need any help? Can I ask Papa to help you? Do you want to see a doctor? Like that. You give all options. Then he may say, no, I will go see a doctor. Okay, go and see a doctor. Because they need not be comfortable with mother. That is important. This is the only slide I want you all to see. It's a very, very important. Anybody want you take a picture of this? Explain. What people do not know the organs properly. And that is extremely important that you tell the children what is happening there. Because down there, you never get to see it. You don't know what it is. So it is important. You start talking with clitoris, which is a bonsai penis. And that is the most stimulating organ in the body. If a penis has 1 crore nerve ending, this also will have again 1 crore. What you see outside is only tip, the bigger part is inside. But of course, most girls may not be even able to see it. Some of them may be too big and can see it. Tell them that nothing wrong in that. And if you are doing self-stimulation, use the clitoris. Below that, you have a small opening urethra. And very close to that, you have the white part is the hymen. And you have a small opening for the blood to come in. Now, most of the time, particularly in premarital counseling, we explain this. These two are so close, that's why you have a honeymoon urethritis. We used to call it cystitis, but it's not cystitis. It is urethritis because of local trauma. Because the vaginal opening is just above the anal opening. And most people don't know that. So, unfortunately, the wrong place may be giving all the push. So that is important to know that. And then you have the labia majora with hair, minora without hair. And below that, you may see a urethra, same size, very small opening of the vaginal opening. So first 2 days, blood will go. Once the blood clotted, then clot retraction happen and fluid will keep on coming for next 15 days. So if something happening, then the child need to be examined by you or a gynecologist. And you may have different type of, look at the right one. It's not open. Hymen is not open. You may have every month, pain and all that, but nothing comes out. I think this picture is very important to understand that this is your private part. Of course, sexual abuse, don't make 80%, 90% sexual abuse. This is the most reliable data from 3 districts, 10% girls and 5% boys abuse. And they may ask you, what can they do with boys? It is the anal sex that is we are talking about. And the oath, wherever you do a program like this, this is a massive programs I have done in many schools. What do you say? I am the custodian of my mind, body, and spirit. I will protect, preserve, and enhance it. I am the custodian of my mind, body, spirit. I will protect, preserve, and enhance it, which means I am the responsible person, not you. Then, of course, you have a very simple way to find out your relationship. I said some of this before, but we have a tool itself. Quickly, you can rate yourself. In reality, with all the good and bad in marriage, what is the overall rating? Above 50, below 50. Okay? Sexuality, sexual satisfaction with husband or wife, your overall assessment, above 50, below 50. Fantasy, the partner, child, profession, all these are fitting with your fantasy, above 50, below 50. Support, financial support, it may be from family, it may be peer support. Do you have above 50% support? Attitude, whether taking the concept of marriage seriously or not. Or it's only for few days or few months. Personality means giving type means enjoy by giving pleasure to partner. So depending on the age group you are talking, if you are talking to a really married people, then you can use the word even orgasm. Otherwise, say happiness. School children, you only say happiness, then pleasure, then even orgasm. Okay? And if you are a giving type man, your marriage will be 100% successful. Because if you give 1, she will give you 3. Okay? And the last one is conflict resolving strategy. Actually, I have changed it now. Instead of conflict, now I said sharing the same values. I thought conflict, I'm getting wrong in answers. Most people say they have very positive conflict resolving. It's not able to discriminate. But instead of that, now I change it to sharing the same values. If you see the same movie, if she is crying, will you also cry? Of course, you will hide it, but still, tears will come or not. That means you share a lot of good values. Then, of course, premarital, you know that the weight 40 kg and 140, otherwise you have low birth weight. I'll quickly go. You have the many vaccines. Most important now, it is apart from rubella, hepatitis B, we also should push human papilloma virus. The breast, don't go for biopsy. If you have a breast swelling, the best is to go for ultrasound. In Nasik, get one lady radiologist, encourage her to focus on that. There is somebody in Amurtha, she has written 2 articles on this in my book on adolescent pediatrics. What she says is, whole life she do only breast. She says, any swelling below 24, you only have to do, ultrasound. Above that also you can do, but if there is a doubt about the edges, you may go for biopsy. And of course, dental care is so important. Without that, you can't do it. Then, of course, the gynec checkup, particularly for menstrual problems, polycystic, not checkup. You tell the child what it is because they do not know what to do. Many of the problem is curdy white discharge. Okay. And they go around with that. Why I'm saying all this, the new students who come with us, after you take one class, suddenly say, my mom never told us all this. I have been having curdy white discharge. She has never taken to me, doctor. Because most mothers don't ask all this, they don't bother about it. Parenting is not teaching good habits. Parenting is taking care of their physical, mental, psychological, legal needs. So if you have vaginal discharge, then of course, unmarried girl is fluconazole 150 milligram single dose. Okay, this we will leave it. Then of course, your folic acid, we know that time is up, so I won't go into detail. Folic acid will give all sort of problem. Then of course, this also. And the section 5 is something on self-counseling. I think this is the last one. Yeah, I'll stop here with self-counseling. There are 10 points for self-counseling. One is, do not bluff to yourself, even if you have to bluff to others. Very often we have to bluff to others. You can't survive sometimes without that. Don't bluff to yourself. If you did something wrong, if you thought something wrong, you wanted to do something wrong, accept that I did think. Then ask yourself, was it right or wrong? It was wrong. Next time, will I do it? I try not to. But still you may do it. But at least I try not to. That's the point. You are not God. You are likely to make mistake. So take precaution. Particularly a male pediatrician seeing an adolescent girl, 100% mother should be there. Nowadays, I say not only mother, your nurse also should be there. The mothers can be very manipulative nowadays. They all, if somebody offer them money to trap the doctor, they may go with the fellow. So better have your nurse as well as the mother together. Do not think others have to like you always. Instead of getting the liking of your partner, mother, sister, like that, you go for somebody somewhere sitting there on dupe name and you look for his thing. I think the present day children's biggest problem is focus on this point. Any child is going for liking, just discourage that, because that may be an idiotic gung sitting somewhere, putting Aishwarya Roy and all name and sending you, liking. They put any name and put liking. So just say that liking has to be from people who has to be close to you and who have a stake in you, interest in you. Caring and not love. Don't ever believe a fellow I say, love you, love you, love you, love you. He's just saying it, he doesn't. Instead of saying 100 times I love you, go for one incident of caring. When you really needed, he or she was so caring. That is the most important. Refuse to take insult. Somebody try to insult you, you just refuse. What will happen? That fellow will get irritated. Nothing will happen to you. You cannot irritate me. So why should I get irritated? I only look at the fellow like this and think whether he is only having depression or bipolar. Just do like that. Anybody insult you, just look into the eyes. Why are you staring at me? Just thinking whether it is bipolar or only depression. Simple. Problem is not yours. Then don't think others are lesser than you. This problem we all have. That British culture has taught us that Saab hai and the servant hai. No, nothing like that. Nobody is below you. You may be up in this birth, next birth you may be a fly. We don't know. Why don't you do? If somebody try to insult you, 30 seconds you may feel bad. Then go into the cognitive pathway. Say whether it is there or not. Don't take insult. Say, if you made a mistake, in the mind you say, I'm sorry. But if you want to abuse, you abuse, but not outside. In the mind only, you give the choices abuse. Think of other person's point of view. Be a third party. When something goes wrong, don't stick to your own thing. This happens with children. I don't want to listen to you. This is a bloody nonsense that every parents have learned. When the child is trying to say something, you say, you are bad. I don't want to listen to you. Who the hell are you? As if you are so good. Listen to the child. What is the circumstance in which that happened? And most of the time you may end up saying, if I was in your place, I would have given him one more. You understand my point? So don't, deny a chance for the child to express. Do not hurt someone if possible, and do not hurt yourself. The girl, particularly the girl, should be taught this. For the sake of a boy who threatened to commit suicide, don't spoil your life. Okay? If you try to commit suicide, say, go ahead and commit it. Because if not for one thing today, tomorrow you will do for something else. So don't try to threaten me with the suicide and all. Last, of course, I am the custodian of my mind, body, and spirit. I will protect, preserve, and enhance it. Give the responsibility to the child to love their body, to love their mind, and love their spirit. Nobody can touch me without my permission. No, I will not give affection to somebody, so-called love to any donkey on the road. I will think twice before doing it. And the spirituality. We have certain beliefs. Your religious as well as other value system Don't let somebody smash it. Okay? You have right to have your own belief system, so long as it is not against somebody. Must say that also. So long as it is not against somebody, you have the right to have your belief. So, best of luck. Thank you. I also will do. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Huge knowledge. And we cannot miss even a single sentence of these things. It is just a thought-provoking lecture you have given us. We're very much thankful to you, sir. Now I'm handing over the mic to Dr. Trupti for further proceeding. I hope MKC sir will be there with us till the end.
Yeah, I will be there. I will screen sharing. I will remove.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Trupti, please.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sulba. So, friends,
Right,
with this enlightening talk, let us move on to the further talk by Dr. Atul Kanikar, sir, on 5 basics of parenting. Sir doesn't need any introduction. Today's both stalwarts, they ideally don't need any introduction, but just as a formality, we are doing it. So, sir is a child and adolescent care pediatrician from
Forget
Nashik,
it. Forget it.
Sir, other people have also joined, so please let me tell. Apart from
Okay.
pediatricians,
Okay.
So he is working in this field since last 18 years, has conducted above 350 parenting workshops, 600 school programs, and even premarital counseling programs. He is author for many UG textbooks, PG textbooks, and has worked for preparation of many modules on adolescence, and a special mention for his book From Terrible to Terrific Teens, which is a must read, I'll say. So let us have some pearls of wisdom from Atul Kanikar, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay. There is just one request that because MKC sir is quite busy with his granddaughter. Okay. So, sir, it's a fact. Like, I mean, you are pinning me on my wife. So I have a chance to pin you up on your granddaughter, So whenever I come to Trivandrum, I'll ask your grandchild, how is your grandpa, Apu?
She will say, very good, very good.
I know, but I have some other means of taking out the information. You know that.
Okay.
So we have a special day, my dear friends, and wish you a very happy new year at the outset, 2024. And I remember Professor M.K. Nair sir and Tuteja sir, we had our first program of Maha IAP. They were our opening batsmen. And today also, the first session of 2024, sir is there with us with all his cocktail of sexuality, premarital, parenting, and all that. So I don't think there is something more left for me to discuss. Sir, would you like to take some questions if there are any before I start?
Please. No, whichever way. Timing is your fault.
No, timing, I need 10 minutes.
Okay, then okay, go ahead. Oh, you finish, then we'll take questions together. You
Okay,
also finish, then we'll take questions.
Kanikar sir will finish both lectures and then we'll take the audience questions.
There is one
I'll
more
be there. I'll be
record.
sitting.
Yeah, there is one more record today that we have the highest number of online participants. 160, maybe 5. 160 have come for MKC sir, but 5 at least are there for me. So let us see. So what I'm trying to complete in this particular, what is happening here? Okay. So what I'm trying to say, sir has almost covered everything. 5 basics of parenting, which are not my creations. They are way back in 2001. This is the first program of the year, so congratulations and welcome everybody. So what we have found is that the home environment, as sir also has mentioned, that the family connectedness, the communication between parent and a teenager prevents teenage sexual experimentations and pregnancy. So 70% responsibility, which most of the parents in the modern times or so-called elite group, they neglect it. They think that putting a child in a very affluent school, costly school is their only sole responsibility, which is not the fact. And of course, social media, previously it was 5%, but because of this interactive social media, the contribution from social media is now 10%. Coaching classes more than schools are now governing teenagers' life because they are taking coaching classes like their parents as more important than the schooling. So we have 70% from home, 20% from the school and coaching classes, and only 10% which our older generation blames कि ये सब media की वजह से हुआ है, ये सब mobile की वजह से हुआ है. That is only 10%. Not all those children who use social media, have a bad consequence. So when it comes to protective factors for a child or a teenager, the home is the first thing. That satisfactory parental interparental relationship on which MK sir has also highlighted. Then family connectedness, which is lacking in most of the teens. Many teens who come to us in our clinics, they say, I don't like my home, I don't like my parents. And it's very painful to hear that. Okay. Presence of at least one parent is a rare possibility, especially in a educated wife who also wants to identify herself. It is her right, no problem. And the least worked out thing is moderate expectations by the parents. So if we have moderate expectations, there is some family connectedness. The child wants to share his or her problems with parents first rather than Google or peer groups. Then it's a very, very protective factor. As far as school is concerned, school connectedness, which am I getting old? But when we were students, we had a lot of connectedness with our teachers. Okay. Nowadays, we don't find children, they actually hate their teachers, especially female teachers. Because there is some loss of connectedness, there is loss of communication. Yesterday only, I had a program with some 110 Jilla Parishad teachers. And when I told this slide, they were all agreeing that I said, I am so glad to meet my old teachers from school who are actually, partly blind also. But when they hear my voice, they start to shed out tears that I am there and I am meeting them. And that link is somehow missing in the modern times. Then feeling of closeness to the teacher. We don't have impartial and compassionate teachers these days in many convents and elite schools. I don't know about the corporation schools. And peer group is extremely important. The peer group with protective influences and similar interests is very crucial in upbringing of a child. As far as the personal things are concerned, the life skills are extremely important. Self-esteem or self-confidence is very, very important. Interest in extracurricular activities is a very protective factor for a child. So don't just please focus on only academics. I urge to all the parents who walk into my clinic to inculcate some extracurricular activities and cultural activities. Let them involve in family get-togethers, family decorations for say Diwali or New Year or Ganpati or whatever, and religious activities. These are all supposed to be the best protective factors for our children of any age. As sir has also said that any problem lasting beyond 2 weeks, which is increasing in severity, feeling sad for loss of a pet or a relative for a day or two or a week, maybe it's okay, no problem. But keeping on weeping all the time for more than 2 weeks, which is affecting your sleep and appetite and worsening your daily task academics, it needs definitely immediate intervention. So when you cannot handle this as a parent, you have to take counselors or pediatricians help, trained pediatricians help, I would say. So that should be taught to all the children as well as parents and teachers in the school also. Now we have so many problems for parents, today's 2024 parents who are parents of teenagers, that there are so many things. The most important constraint that we all have is the time problem. The nuclear family, the single parent family, the latchkey parenting, the busy parents, the busy students, we all have. Even the grandparents are busy with the mobiles all the time and the TV programs. But in addition to that, we have teachers who have lost connection with the children. We have mental health issues like depression. We have, as sir mentioned in his sexuality talk, that they are exploring, they are experimenting, and there are many other problems also. We have an increasing problem of drug abuse. The social media has actually dominated our world, and these children also have a lot of bad peer influence, including sexual experimentations. As sir also mentioned, that most of the girls are actually now preferring not to remain virgins because the peers don't like it. And there is a lot of peer rejection if you are good, well behaved till 18 years of age. So most of the pediatricians who are into adolescent practice are actually seeing children or girls who have lost their virginity as early as 14 to 15 years of age. And we don't know the exact number, the exact age at which they have started experimenting the before penetrative sexual act. So these are the warning signs which I have highlighted many times. But the pink part, avoiding hug and eye contact by parents, new set of senior friends, stealing money and valuables, and the child wants to be left alone. In addition to the first number, scholastic worsening, 99 out of 100 children are brought to us by the parents for poor scholastic performance or academic worsening. And that has been taught to me and many others by MKC sir, that scholastic worsening is the first indicator of a high risk behavior in any child that walks in. So this pink part denotes, we all know that it points out towards substance abuse. The blue part, like disturbed sleep and appetite, disproportionate irritability, mood swings, crying constantly, or before committing the suicide, unusually cheerful. Now that the child's life problems are going to be over, the child may suddenly become cheerful. And most important is loss of interest in sports and recreation. In younger adults, loss of interest in sexual activities is also a foremost indicator of depression. So we need to understand these 10 indicators very clearly. So at home, mother can be the best clinician. This is also MKC Nair sir's statement that the mother can be the best clinician. In school, the teacher, the compassionate teacher can be the best clinician that there is some problem in this particular child. So what the topic today is 5 basics. I need not tell you in the details that we need to have unconditional love. We have to separate the child from inappropriate act. शुद्ध मराठीत सांगायचं झालं तर तू गाढवासारखा वागलास, तू गाढव आहेस असं म्हणायचं. You behave like a foolish person. You are not a fool person. You are not a fool person. That is, you separate the child from the act and connect that you like the child, you love the child, mainly through non-verbal communication. It is a dictum that as the child's age grows, your verbal communication, your words, number of words should decline. You can just put a pat on the back, you can fluff through the hair, see that the hairstyle is not distorted. That is number one. They don't like it. You can give a hug, you can just, put a hand on his hand or her hand and just show that you care, you love your child. That is the most important thing. It makes a lot of difference. Monitor their daily routine and observe for any subtle changes. For those husbands who are on the screen here, online, I would say that when you come home, your mom or your wife can detect those subtle expressions on the face which tells her that the mood kuch kharab ho gaya hai aaj, kuch to gadbad hai. Same thing applies to a child. Observe for subtle changes in the friend circle, in the peer group, in the academics, in the habits, in overall routine, in the hobbies also, I would say. Okay. Then third thing is your discipline. I'll come to that little later. And sir has already talked about giving limits to family limits, cultural limits to your child. We have to be good role models. I'm surprised to see that many newborns whom I attend in the cesarean section or normal delivery, the relatives will come with a mobile and take a selfie and put it on WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Whereas we know that the mobile radiation is extremely dangerous for a newborn child's brain. So basically, we have to be good role models. A 5-6 years walks, comes into the mother's lap and says, "What Mama, what happened in school?" And the mom will say, "Shut up, let me have my work done on the mobile." And actually, she is doing nothing but forwarding the jokes and WhatsApp and selfies to her friend circle. So we have to be the first good role models as far as social media use is concerned, as far as drug abuse is concerned, as far as even the tone and voice of communication is concerned, as far as expressions of our own emotions of sadness. Sir mentioned about sharing your own problems with your children, teenagers. As you expect them to share their problems with you, it is our impertinent duty to share our problems with our growing children also. Look, yeah, these are my issues, these I am facing, and many times they are much smarter, they can give you much better options, and they understand that yes, as I share my problems with my parents are also sharing. So they keep on sharing their problems and consult if you cannot resolve the problems on your own with a counselor or a pediatrician. So modeling and consultation, SOS, is the most important part of parenting. And if you have time, like we have a Sunday morning and we are all here, 160 plus number. So if you have time, so you provide and do advocacy. That with your patients, with your relatives, with your friends, with your social circles, you can actually teach what we have learned so far in adolescent pediatrics. That is advocacy of parenting. So this is a very good 2001 article raising teens, and it is a Harvard University public health publication. So this is something you go to any culture, any country, any age era from 2001. These 5 things have always remained constant and may remain constant hereafter also. As far as discipline is concerned, I just today morning only I picked up this picture because I am fond of pets. So I have made a mnemonic that managing daily routine of your child completes 50% of your disciplining task. Let it be very, very informal. We have to have limitations of inappropriate acceptable behaviors as per our cultural and family norms. Whatever applies in Nasik would not be applicable in Mumbai or Pune or Trivandrum. Okay, so setting limits is the family's task. We have to be consistent. Many parents tend to give up, sir, कोई फायदा ही नहीं हुआ, 3-4 दिन से try कर रहे हैं, सुनता ही नहीं है. This is not the way. You have to be consistent for at least 3-4 months and ignoring minor behaviors. If the child comes home late by say 15-20 minutes, you need not start lecturing the child. Give positive remarks, whether it is a drug abuse habit, whether it is a sexual experimentation, whether it is academic decline. If a child is showing little improvement, you have to pat the back and show that you are very, very happy to see the child's improvement in the problem situation. Unconditional love, we have already discussed. We have to have mainly the husband's cooperation here. Disciplining is not now only a mother's task. The husband's cooperation. I always tell my parents of the young children, that if you have your good relationship, you discipline your child till 10 years, and then you have better communication with your child from 10 to 18 years, you will have the best friend from your life as your own child. And that is the most important thing. So we have to have entire family participation when it comes to discipline. No labeling or no nagging all the time. Sir only has said this, that many times the parents will say, go study, go study, go study. But no parents will tell them actually how to study. So no labeling. I mean, MKC sir's grandchild is a beautiful child. She's very pretty. Fantastic. But I'm not labeling her. Okay. But again, if I say it will be like nagging. And empathy is the most important thing that most parents and grandparents are missing. We always fail to understand that if we were students in 2024 studying in 5th standard, 6th standard, with so much social media around us, so much bad peer influence, so much bad political influence, how would we feel with so much of academic burden? So that when you put yourself in your child's shoes without removing your socks as a parent, of course, that is what empathy and education about good things, not the something which is painted on the school walls. Kartavya, whatever, Prayatnanti Parameshwar and all that. Karmanyevadhikarasya and all that. No, nothing, no lecturing. Okay, that is something more important. This slide I put purposefully because most of our children, either they have already gone away from home or the younger children may go out and stay somewhere in the hostel or maybe other countries. But if you sense any form of distress or difficult mental health in a child's WhatsApp call or whatever, immediately these are the things to avoid problems. So stay calm when the child is away from you, but yet connected. Have chat all the time, have some phone calls ongoing, unlock emotions and allow the child to talk about what the problem is. Involve the local guardian. That is what I always tell. Many times we see March, April, the people going to US or Europe, they'll come to us for vaccination, certification, and all that. I always tell the parents to remember this particular thing, that you have to have a local guardian in the city, preferably where the child is studying, and consult the trained counselor. And nowadays, every major city, university have their helplines also available. So obtain the numbers, contact them. That I sense that my child is in trouble. Please be with him till the time you reach. Okay. So induce positive behavior by discussing options. What can be done? If the child says, "My this year exam was horrible," so what are the options? That should be discussed openly. Try to know what the child is already trying to say before giving your values and samskar and all that. So avoid drug abuse, and if the child is already on drugs for depression or something, look for management options and evaluate the plan and eliminate the means if there is any suicidal ideation. So this is the short form which we had in our I think mission school Uday 2 or something. And this was very useful for parents who had their children or who are having their children studying outside homes. These 5 things have really helped me as a father, as a mother also. That 5 things we can always tell, keep on telling, doesn't matter. People may not listen, but at least one family meal per day is something the least a parent can do for the child. So please let it be breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. But one family meal without discussing troublesome problems like how is studies, what is your teacher saying. Talk about something which makes interest to the child, like sports, like friends, like girlfriends, like movies. Something of their interest should be discussed on the dining table. Set realistic goals, be unanimous and consistent, ignore minor misbehaviors, and you yourself as a parent should take a break at least occasionally. You can actually tell a growing child, look Baba, 2 दिन के लिए mummy papa are going out. And please go mummy papa together. Let this papa not go with some another mummy. That is something what I want to say. So let it be a family parental break for 2 days from the family so that parents are refreshed and they come back, and children also want a break from the parents, especially when they are nagging time. So what I wanted to say in the beginning was your quality time and tender care now, today, can earn you the best and trustworthy friend for life. This is me with my son in 2014 when we were on the Himalayan trek. Okay. So thank you very much. I conclude my session in less than maybe 20 minutes or so. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an enlightening talk. Sir, there are 2 or 3 questions in the chat box. So, do we have time? Can we take up the questions?
We have 5 minutes, madam.
Yeah, okay.
Before you conclude, I have to say something.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
So, you can go ahead. I'll just search for the questions because.
Okay. Now, I am very glad and proud to have, we all are actually Nasik team, that we have our 2024 Adolescon, September last week in Nasik, and that will be Friday for workshops, Thursday for school program. We already have a fantastic school setup here. We have so many schools in Nasik, like all cities. But recently we had a peer education program, which was a big success. I think I shared my pictures with NKC sir also for the school program. So the same thing, the school now wants it to continue every year. And it's a big campus. So we have school program on Thursday. Friday we have workshops. We have actually, we'll discuss the scientific program in detail later. And Saturday full day, and Sunday half day will be the conference. We are now actually focusing on less number of speakers and more number of topics, more time for individual topic. We don't want to cram everybody as faculties, so that each topic and each speaker is done justice with. The most important thing is it's going to be a beautiful rainy season in Nasik. Not as beautiful as Kerala, but Nasik is no less, let me put that. So we have a lot many backwaters, rivers, greenery, mountains, small mountains, trekking trails, and all that beautiful things. We have Gargoti Museum. That is something we have not put in the brochure, but still it is a beautiful place. Trambakeshwar and Chiridi are very close by, and we will arrange for all the facilities that our visitors want. We already have many registrations, early bird registrations. The last date is, I think, 31st of January.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So we have sent the flyer across. So I urge all of you, and if I hope NKC sir, if he is healthy physically, he has already come twice to Nasik, but this time we want him as a main speaker of the conference. Sir, unmute, please unmute.
Yeah.
No travel beyond my city.
Sir, you have to just go to the airport, sit in the.
No, I don't travel at all. I'm not supposed to for medical reasons. Okay.
But by September, you should be okay, no?
No. The only place I'll go is Cochin conference. That too in my car with accompaniment and person accompanying me. Wife won't send me alone. No
Okay.
outside city, I don't go. But webinar, there's no problem.
We will think of some online session.
No. If you want not an online session, what we can do is you give me the topic, I'll record it and send to you.
Okay. That
Recording
online,
online is
problem
not good.
doesn't matter.
Online invariably will be problem.
Yeah.
The other one, aram se karo, record and send it. It will, when you project in the last screen with LED screen, it looks as if you are talking. No problem.
Yeah, naturally. We saw that at Gandhinagar also.
Yeah.
We saw that at Gandhinagar.
Now I'm doing that.
That is something, but the remaining so many people I am requesting to register as early as possible. We have the link, we have the registration barcode or scan code or whatever. Until 31st, we have a special offer for you. After that, the registration amount increases. Trupti madam and the organizer Samol Pawar sir, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have to find some topics for workshop and suggest some workshop registration fees also immediately. So that is something. And I'm very glad that even the new Maha-IP team has continued to take this particular program in 2024. So let us have a meeting, online meeting between our organizers to discuss the further programs if at all we want. There are so many topics. I urge all the participants online to kindly SMS or WhatsApp the topics of their interest and I request Trupti madam to share the topics which we have already discussed in last 1 year, so that there is no repetition this time. Okay, so I end here. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. So, sir, one or two questions only. First question:
Just
how
a
do you
minute.
counsel a girl or boy who has a lot of pressure to lose their virginity? Lot of peer pressure.
Okay. MKC sir, this is for you.
Okay. The best thing is not to preach. Remember, don't preach at all. Normally in counseling, we say you should not tell your personal things. That is a rule, dictum. But here is a situation where you can actually put yourself at the level of that girl. Even if you didn't have the pressure, you also cook up a story of how the pressure came, how difficult it was for me to get rid of it. And on one side, I have the guilt feeling of what parents are told. Other side, you have this one. That is one aspect. Second aspect is self-counseling. Okay? Self-respect. Very, very important. That's why the last word you say in self-counseling, I didn't put that. I am the custodian of my mind, body, spirit. Push that concept into it. Just say that, would you like to do something? Would you like to do something which you don't enjoy? You wanted to have sex, go ahead and have sex. At least you enjoyed it because you wanted it. Okay? Then you may regret. That's the second issue. But here, others are wanting you to do. What the hell should you do for that? Somebody asks you to kill that fellow because that dirty girl I don't like. Kill. Will you kill it? You will do it only if you are a psychiatric patient. You understood? You are a psychotic, then you will do it. So one by one, discuss with the child. How do you make options? Don't have a pre-prepared plan. I will say point 1, point 2, point 3, like that. You can understand. Just yesterday, that's why I said, a very, very VIP boy, all sort of problems. But you just put it. But of course, he was a very handsome boy. So I said, very handsome boy. My God. I wish I was like this at your age. All the girls would have been after me. Mother immediately said, he's a lot after him and he is, getting one by one out. So the light discussion become very light. Light discussion. Don't think we are trivializing it. No. Discussion has to be light. And then you just give this one little idea. You also tickle the parents a bit. Because children like parents being tickled. So then you become on their side. Somehow you have to convince them that I am not against you doing anything, but I am only worried about what is the consequence. Okay? ABC analysis. The antecedent is the other girls have already done it. They are already regretting it. They want you also to be in that so that they have a partnership. It's not because they want you to do it. What the hell? Why should you listen? And your behavior will have so much of consequences. And those consequences, would you like to do this one? Just push it like that. Push it, but not put it like advising, guiding. Don't let them not think that you have come with 10 points, commandments, nothing like that. Just a casual talk. Such a pretty girl. Who wouldn't like to have a virgin girl as a wife? Do you want to throw it away? No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. One of the only girl in the film industry, there was a girl from Kerala who, I won't say the name, married to a big man in and I was told that the only guarantee, that his friend, who is a top film actor, said was, if you have a virgin girl in the industry, it is this one, which I believe also, because she was in Cochin, was in Chennai, and was in Mumbai. And one interview, she said somebody approached him with what do you call casting couch and all. I said, I have plenty at home. Forget about it. Fine. Yeah. So there are girls like, give such examples. 99.9%, I believe she was virgin when she got married. I mean, 100% nobody can say. So I'm saying such example you say. And I said, he said, sir, why do you talk so much? One girl actually asked me, why do you talk? Are you in love with her? I said, no, I adore her as my daughter. I have no love and all. For love and lust, I may think of some other girl. Plenty are available. But for you cannot have a daughter like this. Who is so confident, who is doing everything herself. She ventured into anything. From Kerala, she went to Chennai, Bombay, all that. But still, she remained the number one. Will you respect her or will you respect another one who is give to everybody in the world? Simple as that. Okay, dear.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Another question. There are times when a kid in depression is empathized well by the mother, but other family members like father or grandparents keep messing up with the conversation with her. How do you deal with such a family as the non-empathizing family members are not willing to change or undergo counseling for the betterment of child?
If it is for
Would
me,
you
I
like
didn't
to-
hear anything.
Yes, sir.
No, I didn't hear the question. You repeat the question. I didn't
Yeah.
get that.
So
I hear
the-
anything. It was break here.
Yeah. So there is a kid who is
Just
in
repeat the
depression.
question.
Yes. There is a kid who is in depression. The
Hear
mother
anything.
is empathizing well with the child, but other family members, father
Ah.
and grandparents, they keep messing up with the conversation with her. So they are non-empathizing with the child. So how do you
No.
counsel?
Okay, I got a question. I got a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir. I think there is some problem. Yeah. So please go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Anybody doing adolescent pediatrics? Can you hear?
Yes, yes.
Anybody doing adolescent pediatrics come across this situation every day of their life. I had a girl who had depression. She was doing very well, but the problem is the in skirt, father will give a red one and say, what is wrong in red? Huh? You understand my point? So such people will always be there.
I request everyone to
Which you
please
would have
mute
done.
yourself.
Mother is already convinced, okay, but get the father on your side and talk about the good things of your life. Never talk about the child and all that. Start talking about his profession, how he has done well. Is he okay? Is it going? Anything is required? Start with entirely different subject and say, suppose you get, low mood because of problem that he will definitely say. When we have problem, we all get low mood. What do we need? Do we need support of your family, friends, and children? Or do you want to let them on manage by themselves? You teach them the biopsychosocial model of depression. Not that they will understand everything. That there is a biological part which needs drug. There is a psychological part where there is a cognitive error. All those cognitive error has to be corrected and a social support. And nobody in the world can give that much social support to a girl as much as the father can. Although we say mother and daughter are very close, the even few moments with the father makes too much of difference in the confidence of the child. So you counsel him, take it like he has a problem. Counsel the father and then you counsel both together without blaming each other. Father and mother, without blaming each other, make instead of it becomes a mother's problem, can we make it as a family's problem? It will do well because no father want her daughter or son to be in bad shape. Just that they have certain convictions and they don't like to change from that.
So what about the grandparents here who are all the time poking?
Grandparents, much better is to ignore. At this age, maybe it's difficult to change them. But that when you talk to the grandparents, you get an idea what sort of personality they are. Okay, if you think they are going to be difficult personality, no amount of reasoning will work with them. They will say, this Pindu boy is trying to teach me. I have eaten more, I have attended more holy than you. You understand my point? So
Yeah, if even if I press your lips now, the milk will drop. That type of comment.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So grandparents, you have a chit chat with them, try to find out what sort of a personality they are. Sometimes they may be not bad people, just that they are not aware of it.
Yeah.
So if it is that one, of course, you would make them try to aware, but don't push yourself to the grandparents so much. because somehow at that age, it may be little difficult for them to change. But the parents can be changed, because all said and done, the grandparents may like the child much more, but a stake is for the parents. You understand the difference I'm saying? In terms of affection, grandparent may have more, but they don't feel the stake. It is not their part. They will cry if their son or daughter is in trouble. They will
Yeah.
not cry that much if the grandchild is there. We must understand that.
Mm.
It is possible, madam. Just simple, quiet counseling. But don't expect result tomorrow. 1 sitting, 2 sitting, nothing like that. Okay?
Yes.
So best thing is to empower the mother.
Empower the mother, especially if she is good. That's what I'm saying. These women, they may not be educated. Let them be no education at all. But
Somehow they
the
give up,
grit
sir.
they
After
have.
some time they give up. Even
No.
I have seen such types
The
of
grit
mothers.
they have is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They have the
best
best.
thing is to involve the father, active participation of the father with mother's empowerment, support. If possible, grandparents also will be included later on.
Yeah, all three is important, but
Yeah.
primary focus is mother, because she needs to give 24-hour support, then get the father, and then think of the grandparents.
Correct. Yeah. Got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very, very right, sir. Kanika sir, one last question for you.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
today's times, alcohol is a commonplace. How to deal with differential parenting when, for example, father is okay with social drinking of their 18-year-old and mother is not okay with the child going to a pub with their friends. Kids tend to manipulate parents to their own advantage. How to counsel in such situations?
Best thing is to ask about what the parents think together. That is number one. Okay. Most of the young teenagers or young children who land up with drinking problem is because they find this as a okay thing. And the fathers, because his friends, children are also doing the same thing, and his friends say कि आजकल तो सब कुछ चलता है. So he comes home very confident कि चलो यार मेरा भी बच्चा पिएगा तो no problem. But here the mother's concern are very, very vital. And here the brain development of a child should be taught to the family. That early drinking leads to early addiction and long-standing addiction. That biological consequences, brain impacts of drinking at early age, like nicotine, also can be dangerous. This has to be taught to the family. In spite of that, if the father is very, very dominating sort of, and the mother is not finding it comfortable, again, what happened in the last case, last question, which sir answered, the same thing applies here also. But here we have to talk to the family together and tell the child also, depending on the age of the child, about the consequences of binge drinking or like heavy drinking. That soon the social drinking can become an active search for drinking and then addiction. And we can save him up to stage 3. So already he is in social drinking, that is the stage 2 of drinking. So soon it can become an active search कि यार मैंने तो तेरे को बियर पिलाई थी, तू भी मेरे को तेरा बर्थडे है तो बियर पिला दे, that type of search. Okay. So that has to be told to the child in our psycho education part. But family, parents, we should talk together and tell them about what they are doing and what the consequences can be. Let the choice be theirs, whether they want to have their child as a drunkard or to be very responsible.
Just check whether he actually enjoyed drinking, or it is the idea of going to a pub with the friends and feel like an adult, macho man.
Yeah.
Most probably it is that feeling is important. Actually, he doesn't like the taste of beer, but still he will like to do that. So that may be a concept which may be brought in.
Correct. Yes, sir.
So,
Trupti, anything else?
I think no, sir. That's fine.
Okay.
Trupti,
Let's
before
wind up.
ending the session,
Yeah.
I would like to ask everyone to make their cameras on so that we can take a good picture.
How many people you expect on one screen? Should I put one LCD next time?
That will be better, sir.
But the computer will be same, madam.
It would have been ideal for today's session because today we have an overwhelming response of more than 170 participants.
Yeah,
We can
and
take picture
YouTube
of all
also
screens
live.
actually
YouTube
together.
also live.
Yes,
We will
yes.
take the picture of all screens actually.
Go ahead.
So just for a few seconds, I request everyone to please switch on their cameras and then we'll proceed further. And here we go. Sulba, are you clicking?
Yeah, yeah. 6
I'm
screens
seeing,
are there.
I'm
I
seeing
have completed
only
the first one.
YouTube. I'm seeing only YouTube with we as stamp size photographs. You are looking like political leaders.
Everybody's screen on, please.
How many you want to take?
Sir, I'm having the 7 screens here. I am able to see the 7 pages over my laptop.
I think my view option is not correct.
So it's
I'm
put it
seeing,
in gallery view. Gallery view.
okay, it's okay. Doesn't matter. If you
Sulba,
are
done?
happy,
Yes,
yeah,
done, Trupti.
okay. So thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
We
you all.
wind up.
So thank you so much, everyone. With this, we'll conclude today's session. And in the beginning, I would like to thank today's both the stalwarts, Dr. M.K. Nair sir and Dr. Atul Kanikar sir. I think we are privileged and lucky to have both of you here on this forum to guide regarding parenting, because everyone knows that mental health problems are on rising side in today's messy, overwhelming, and somewhat complex world. And parenting can play an important role to prevent disasters in teens' life. So thank you so much, both of you. I would also like to thank today's guest of honor, Dr. Vasant Kalatkar, sir, Central IIP President 2024. I would like to thank Dr. Ramgopal Chejara, sir, President Maha IIP, for including this program in his Presidential Action Plan 2024. I would like to thank Dr. Amol Pawar, sir, Secretary General Maha IIP, for guiding well, as always, for this program. Thanks to Dr. Atul Kanikar, sir, for being Chief Coordinator for PATH program and always arranging fantastic talks for all the pediatricians. And today's talk was, it was sixer. I would like to thank Dr. Vaibhav Pustake sir for being MMC observer for today's program. Thanks to Dr. Manjusha Sherkar madam, who is a Maha IIP Women's Wing chairperson, for being there. I would like to thank my co-moderator, Dr. Sulba Pawar madam, for being there. Thanks to all the delegates for your patient listening. And we are waiting for you for our next PAS session, which will be first Sunday of each month. Thanks to Pallavi Dharmadikari madam for her fantastic technical support. Thank you so much, everyone. And I appeal everyone to please again register for the AdlosCon 2024 in Holy City of Nashik. The early bird registration will end on 31st of January and the registration charges are only 3,500. So
Thank you all. We'll leave. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Atul.
Bye. Yes, sir. Bye, sir.